Welcome to Backer Pause. What is Backer Pause? Our judges watch crowdfunding videos on air. When they lose interest in a video, for any reason, they hit pause and explain what caused them to experience Backer Pause. This is a fun way to teach creators about attention spans and what works and does not work for their videos. Videos featured from projects that are being advocated for on comicbookadvocates.com with permission. Want to be judged? Have a crowdfunding campaign you want to have on the show? Well, send us an email at comicsnewswire@yahoo.com, and that's comics, COMIX. So who wants to play? Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. Got a great show for you tonight. We got some amazing new campaigns joining us, and I've got a great guest judge who's actually, and Jax is saying hi. I got a great guest judge who came back. Dustin is back. He's got a new video. Look at this. New covers. These are brand new covers, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So talk to me. What are we talking about tonight? We're already showed the boobs, so let's move on to the story.
Right. So we've got Greed is my new book series. It's like a side project from the listener. It's in the same world, but it's 80 years into the future. So it's like a modern day take on the same world we've created, and things have progressed. And it's about a 10-year-old boy and his monster under the bed. You know, it's a lot like, if you were fans of Little Monsters or My Pet Monster or anything like that, that's definitely the vibe, that we give off in this particular book. A lot of action, a lot of no holds bars, just like my other books, so it's, like I said, it's the same world. It's just as dark, just as gritty, but how does a 10-year-old kid react to things that a grown man was dealing with? So
I do want to say, I didn't know that you were actually picking people I knew to model for this cover. We had talked about that. Like Greed, it just sounded like the comic book business for a minute. I love what it looks like. The art is fantastic. You got this new cover. Let's get to that video. No pause, because you're the guest, and as soon as we're done, we'll be back for it. I do want to say before we watch it, I was impressed when I got to see this last week, and where is it? I know we have it loaded. This is on Facebook, right?
Yes, sir.
Here it is. All right, I got it. We got it loaded. For some reason, you know what it was? You're wearing. I was looking for the image of the person that I know that instead of it's you. I was like, oh wait, there you are, Dustin. So let's check out Greed's video. And by the way, tonight I've got my cape. So anytime I don't want to expose how I feel about something.
How's it going, guys? My name is Dustin Burnell. I'm the writer and creator of Greed. Also the writer and creator of The Listener. I'd like to talk to you guys tonight about, or today as well, about how you've stopped by our Kickstarter. I really appreciate you checking it out. I'm going to give you a little intel on the book you're looking at. Greed is based on a 10-year-old boy in the world of The Listener in modern time, and the fact that he starts being able to see the things that the listener can. with no reasoning or rhyme behind why he can. He's trying to figure it out. And all of a sudden, out pops the monster under the bed. A wily smartass that's trying to get this kid to do stuff he really shouldn't be doing. But Oz has got a pretty good head on his shoulders. Probably gets that from his mom. You know, she's pretty smart. And these guys are all based on pieces and parts of my life, you know, in fantasy we've created along with the listener. If you're a fan of the old Little Monsters movie, you'll probably enjoy it, or 80s movies and TV in general. It's a great time. It's also reminiscent of old action-packed cartoons, like Saturday morning cartoons that we all enjoyed as kids. We start getting into the spirituality of things and going over to the other side. You know, the other side is where gods and demons exist, and Oz finds himself over there frequently. Also in really bad situations over there. I think I just heard him scream a second ago. But, you know, he's never alone. He's got his trusty monster under the bed within Cade. Cade's got his own things going on, so we'll get into all that later on, and we'll see where the story takes us. If we've got anything to show you guys that's really cool and talk to you guys about, it's here on the Kickstarter. We've got a huge cast of artists that are involved, and cover artists, interior artists. We've got Manuel Soto, who's doing the lines, and David Acampo, who's coloring for the interiors. We've got a large variety of different cover artists, from the likes of David and Manny both doing their own covers, to Becky Fuller doing a cover, and we've got Frank Forty doing a cover, you know, Rich Parada. There's a lot of really cool people that are involved with this project, and we're really excited to share it with you. You know, when I was a kid, we used to get the best Saturday morning cartoon shows, and I do think that's one of the places this came from. Stemmed from really cool action adventure, you know. It's a very stylized combat and, you know, big colors and bold events. I think you'll really enjoy it. And a little bit of the proceeds are going to my daughter's school to help with their art program, and that's something we're really thankful we can do as well. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, you know, to sit and listen to my spiel, and maybe we'll see you on the other side.
All right, so it's backer post, so I'm going to give a little bit of critique. Again, I like the video, actually.
I appreciate it.
It's a little long, but I don't mind it because it's informative to me and it keeps my attention. I love the fact you're doing charity. It goes a little heavy on pitching, but you dial it back before it became annoying. The beginning, you could make that go a little faster just so you could cut the video shorter. But, I mean, overall, it does exactly what it has to do. I thought it was really well done, especially knowing where you came from with the Whisperer. Seeing that growth in that thing, and the T-shirt again. You got to start making T-shirts of your own brands, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
As I say that as I'm wearing Batman's shirt tonight, but this isn't about.
No, for sure. I learned a lot. I listened to a lot of people. I took a lot of critiques and people's opinions and stuff. But my thing is I have to grow or I'm going to fail. You know, It's just like anything else. You know, like I put out a book a month. So I've got to stay on top of things. The content's got to be good, even down to the videos. You know what I mean? They have to be interesting. One cool thing I'll say about it, and to go along with your critique, which I appreciate, is out of the, I think it was 68 people that watched the video, 25% of them watched the entire length of it. So from what I've seen before, that was pretty good number-wise, and I was proud of that. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. The next one will be better.
And I'll tell you right away, that beginning, it gets you. If I haven't backed this, I have to remember to back it. I want to be part of it.
I appreciate it.
Look, because I didn't realize how close you were coming. Because I do this show, I'm so busy building things, I can't tell you how many times I have to message my friends and go, yo, I missed it. Can I PayPal you? Can I be part of this still? Because I want to get a PDF on something like this. Jack actually stopped and watched the video. He loved it. That kid loves Halloween.
I love it, man. I love that he enjoyed it. I think it's very as a parent of, you know, a daughter, I've got a son as well. I'm more than okay with them reading my books because I have limits to my content. You know what I'm saying? Even if you catch a boob or two, you know, I'm tattooed to the hilt. You know, my kids see tattoos and boobs all the time because of my tattoos, but we use it as a teaching thing for our daughter. So, you know, because young girls go through a lot right now, and with media and everything else that teaches them what they think they should be and whatnot. So yeah, I try to fight that in every way possible.
Now, speaking of boobs, you do have this alternate cover.
I do.
So let me ask you, I'll put you on the hot seat. Why have the character go nude? Is this part of the story, or is it?
So what we do, if you go up, if you scroll up through the covers, there's no other nudity. No. There's also no other female characters as you scroll up. Okay. So what happens with us is I'm in 4 different stores around the world currently. Like to be more than 4 before long, you know what I mean? But currently it's 4 stores. And if you go down to that particular cover, it's a totally rad exclusive cover. It's only going to be on the Kickstarter for a couple days, and then it'll only be available through the Totally Rad web store because that's their character design. It was their artist that did it, and it's a tribute to Full Moon's Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bolorama. It was an 80s flick. So that's why. The characters in it, the only character of mine on the cover is Cade. The other characters are their characters. Jim and I also do a web show on Wednesday nights, and it was cool for us to be able to, do something together, as buddies and as businesses. We've also got a show coming up next week, Suncoast Comic Con, that we did a crossover exclusive for. So I'm pretty pumped about that too.
I'll be at Suncoast.
Sweet.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Be there. Actually, I remember for Suncoast, I'm going under Bobby Gregory because they asked me to make sure that I played on the other side of my persona.
Gotcha. Okay.
They didn't want the free hugs and spanks poster.
Right. I got you. And that's surprising because if you look at the row that we're on, it's me, Ryan Kincaid, Mike DeBalfo, Marissa Pope, Ebbus, and Jim. So it's like, I can't even imagine they wouldn't want that poster. That's hilarious, though.
We'll see. I mean, I know but I mean, my book always is like a lightning rod for a little bit that way, where they're like, oh, like they could show severed heads. You could show a new chick, but whoa, free hugs and spanks.
Right. I'm with you. That's funny. They're all like, that's intrusive. You can't do that. You can't.
Too far.
People. Jesus.
I always say, if your kid understands the joke, it's not me that's the problem.
Right,
There's something gone wrong. For
sure. Well, I mean, so yeah, that's where the cover came from. It is a store exclusive, just like we do them with the listener. So you see those kinds of stuff from us all the time. Like most of the time, you don't see me advocate them as much because I don't sell them. You know what I'm saying? Like once a store purchases their cover, it's exclusive to them to sell them. But Jim was cool enough to tell us that we could put it on the Kickstarter, and I got excited about that. So, and I'm a sucker for 80s horror, so it worked out that way. We also just put out the Mortal Kombat cosplay cover too, which was very cool as well. Manny and David did that one. And everybody was like, you didn't put spikes at the bottom of the pit? And I was like, no, man, if you got kids, Legos are a lot worse than spikes. So
yeah, you're not kidding. Oh, man, as someone who stepped on them, I totally concur. All right, so make sure you guys check this out. You can find it, of course, by going to advocatecomics.com. Takes you straight to our actual backer pause list, and we're gonna go now. Dustin gets to judge some other videos. Awesome. I think Dustin's gonna be nice, though. I feel like we're not gonna get to watch all the videos because he's gonna let all of them play.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm too nice sometimes, but we'll see. All right, we're gonna start out with Jonathan Hedrick, who might be at Suncoast. I think he said he might be there. Sweet.
So hopefully we could be seeing him. By the way, big shout out to Sword of Justice, successfully funded. So congratulations to them, and also congratulations to was it Stellar Odyssey that successfully funded? No, it was someone else. All right, someone else did. I'll tell you right now, just so we're on the program here. Success was found by Jay Slow's Stellar Odyssey. Yeah, so the Stellar Odyssey was successfully funded as well. Congratulations to Jay Slow. So we always like to hear that success is happening here.
Absolutely.
And remember to use stamps.com for your stamping needs. I was just there from the last week. It really does save you money, though, and convenience, except when you have to go international. Oh, my God, Dustin. International shipping hurts my brains. $130 for 2 people the other day.
Man, yeah. So one of the stores, like I mentioned earlier, that we actually are in their store is in the middle of London. And it's just like, man, $80 and $90 just to ship to them and stuff. And that's per package.
Yeah.
Man.
The struggle's real, guys. Like,
for sure.
That's why indie comics are more expensive. Shipping.
Absolutely. I hate it.
So we're gonna do our friend Jonathan Hedrick is next on the list. That he's gonna be ending on. You're ending this Sunday, you said, right?
Saturday, I believe.
No, it says Sunday on here.
Sunday? Sweet. Yeah. I'll take it
at 7:54. Let's double check while we have it open, so we're giving the right information.
Oh,
yeah,
right on.
May 23rd.
Sweet.
An extra day for everybody.
I love it.
All right, so make sure you get your copy agreed. I know I'll be looking after the show today to make sure I get mine. All right, and then I'll get him to. Well, I won't have it in time to get it signed, but I'll come bother him at his booth while we're together. All right, so let's do Quicksand. Quicksand is from our good friend Jonathan Hedrick, who has successfully funded his book. He's now working on some stretch goals. Let's give him a reason to back it by checking out this video. Oh, yeah, by the way, raise your hand. I forgot to tell you, raise your hand if you want to stop the video.
Oh,
I don't expect it. I don't expect it.
I've always had a passion for comic books. The feel, the smell of them, and of course the stories. And I absolutely love storytelling. Hi, I'm Jonathan Hedrick, and I write comic books. Some of my titles include The Recount, Capable, and Freak Show Night. My newest book is called Quicksand, and it's a sci-fi horror miniseries I've been planning for years. The story begins with these monstrous creatures that attack a city in Egypt. After they wreak havoc on the people that live there, they run back into the giant hole in the earth near the pyramids from which they came. Soon afterwards, Canary One is formed, which is a team of experts in various scientific fields and military departments. They get sent into the hole to learn what these creatures are and where these things came from in order to prepare in case it happens again. But they never return. The rest of the series follows the wife of one of the members of Canary One, and she'll stop at nothing to get her husband back. Since the main character is a strong woman, I had to find an equally powerful artist for this project, and that was with Deborah Lancianese. Deborah is an Italian artist, and when I saw her work, I knew she was perfect for this comic book. She adds so much more to every panel. Sunil Gagar is the colorist. He's from India, and I've worked with him on...
Oh, goodness. First video out. Dustin, what happened?
Man, so it's super interesting, right? And it's super intriguing. And then there was a trigger word used for me. The strong woman thing is like, I'm down for strong women. I write about them. But I think it's one of those words that people throw out in a video now to keep people's attention. I think it's something that is used very nonchalantly nowadays. Like it's almost like that episode of South Park when they made fun of the term strong woman. They even made a character called Strong Woman. You know what I mean? It's just, I get it. And I'm 100% in, but I don't like the term used lightly. So I think it's a kind of a cop out, but super cool video. Other than that, it was, I mean, I think that his effects were great, but that was it. That's what caught my attention. You know what I mean? The video itself is what was catching my attention. I honestly think that took away from what he was saying to begin with. I almost put my hand up much earlier than that. I was like, okay, well, we'll let it go because the video is really cool. But it was almost like forced dialogue, in my opinion. You know, so
I heard he for an Academy Award for that video.
Yeah, no, I love the effects and stuff. I thought they were super great, and the book itself sounds interesting. But like you said, if you start getting bored, raise your hand. And I started getting bored.
No, that's perfectly exactly. I'll say this. I think all the characters I write are often strong characters or well told characters. I talk about a young woman's journey through the fetish scene in New York. I don't think I've ever called her a strong woman in pitch packets because that implies that then somehow women are weak.
Absolutely.
And that she's the odd one out, which is not how I feel.
Absolutely.
I think it's just representation of how a lot of the women I've seen and the power that women have. So to your point, those are one of those words that bother me, but I'm so used to people. It's become a trope.
It has. It's a trope.
I'm a weak female character. A weak female character that somehow destroys the world. That's my goal now. She trips on buttons like just a klutz. I'm going to be like, she's a weak woman character, but she's going to kill everybody.
Right, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I love the concept. The video itself it wasn't there for me.
That's fine. I still am voting for you for the Academy Award, my good friend, Jonathan. All right, so our next video up today will be from Vera Sam. Vera Sam, actually, he changes his videos, so if you'll bear with me one moment, I'm going to quickly pop open and we're going to look at it live to see if it's the same video from last week because and I didn't get to check it earlier today because I was in Tampa today with Jaxie, who's at the dentist. So my apologies for having to go this way, but here we go. This is Podcasters versus the Supernaturals. Catch the Crazies, number 3.
Hey guys, that's me. I'm Sam. I was hosting an indie award ceremony at New York Comic Con, and that's George, and he was doing interviews for our show, Catch the Craze. We were pretty hot. We even hosted after parties. But we went our separate ways, and after over a decade apart, we decided to get back and bring the craze back. But we realized we weren't hot anymore. So we didn't want to be taunted anymore by those knuckleheads. We are the craze. So I went into the woods, shouted to the universe, and the universe answered in the form of the crazy man. Yeah, don't ask. And he brings the crazies with him. And they wreak havoc. And now we have zombies. And we have detectives. And we have rivals. And we just want to stop the crazies. Can you help us catch the crazies? Pledge today.
I did see your hand. I just couldn't. I literally was lost in screens. I couldn't stop it.
I'll say this. The two of those guys are class acts. Okay? The book is super cool. The concepts are super cool for it. My thing with it is the video has this. It's not hard to hear, but it's almost like he's in a funnel when he's talking. I don't know if it's just me, maybe, but it has like almost like a feedback.
That might be because of the way we're piping it in.
Gotcha. But no, we do it that way. It's a super interesting concept. You know what I mean? And it even had my attention again the minute we get Afro Dude. That was pretty funny to me. You know, you scream out to the universe, and this is what you get in return. Thank you, universe, for giving us that. The backstory is exactly what they're talking about. It really happened to those guys, so that's really interesting to me. And it's passion. Like when you hear certain people talk about their projects, it's very passionate. You know, and you want to back it because it's passionate. I could watch a really, really bad video if they're passionate with what they're talking about. You know what I mean? If they're there, you may not have a $10,000 budget for your movie, for your Kickstarter, right? Or whatever and what have you. You may not have editors in there making it look clean and awesome, but you're passionate, and I can get behind that.
All right, we're moving on. We don't have a video. I just double-checked this the whole time that they've been with us. The pneumatic cases 1 through 3, sleuthing, steampunk spouses. This is something that I would have loved to have a video for, but they funded. They've gone over 300%, made $7,000 on and I'll quickly show it so you guys can
That's
see.
Beautiful.
I'm loving 7,456 on 2,500 goal. 263 backers. Congratulations. 11 days.
You guys are doing something right, man. That's amazing. Congratulations. And congratulations to each of these groups, because all of these guys have funded that we've watched. So, congratulations on all these projects.
Yeah. And it's got some great art, so check it out. We're going to move on, though, because this is a show that we watch videos on. So we're going to go over to our good friends over at Silverline Comics, as they have joined us to show us another double feature. So let's see what you think of this double feature. Brand new to the show, first time ever. Here we go. Roland, take it away.
Hi, I'm Roland Mann, and I'm the chief cook and bottle washer at Silverline Comics, a genre-spanning independent comic and graphic novel publisher. And I'm here to tell you about our latest Kickstarter. Before I do, though, I need to remind you that we are 10 for 10. We have done 10 Kickstarters, and we have fulfilled 10 of them on time. That's important. Thank you for push and play, because I know that you got a lot of options. But we've done several of them before. You can see here, we've got Kickstarter books that are flip books, and that's what we're doing again. So I'm just going to jump right in, and I'm going to let Barb tell you about Divinity.
Hi guys, this is Barb Kelberg, the creator of Divinity, and I want to thank everyone for their patience in waiting for this next issue. It's been a crazy year, as I'm sure you're aware, but it's worth the wait. Thanks again.
Thanks, Barb. Now I'm going to let Scott tell you about Steam.
Hello everyone, I'm Scott Wakefield, and I created Steam Patriots with my buddy Rory when we said that the steampunk world needs an origin story that starts in America. And we threw in crazy inventions by Ben Franklin and a young hero who's going to get swept up into the war when the British storm ashore looking for trouble in 1776. If you love history, you love steampunk, or you love action-adventure stories, you're going to be crazy about Steam Patriots. So we would love if you could support us however you can. And we can't wait to get the story into your hands. Thanks so much.
Cool. Thanks, Scott. Now, all we need is you. These books are finished. They're done. We got a little bit of work to do on the covers. Got some coloring to do. But other than that, the interiors are finished. All we really need is you to help us get the funds so that we can print them and ship them. Right? And as you've already seen, as I told you earlier, we're 10 for 10. This is going to be 11 for 11, but we need your help. Thank you, and remember to make mine Silverline.
Is set for 11.
All right. What did you think?
So that one is all right. So once again, I'm too nice, like you said. I've been trying to be super positive and whatnot. But there's this thing where it's very interesting, and he comes up and he's like, "Hey, look, we've done 10 books." Right? And he's very positive about the fact he's done 10 books. His group of, artists or team or whatever and what have you at Silverline has done 10 books. That's awesome. There's got to be something you're doing right if you've got 10. You know what I mean? So then I'm interested because you've already shown me that you can stand the test of time. So now I'm interested in your product. My issue is when we get to Divinity, the creator of Divinity is basically like, "Hey, look, I'm sorry the book is taking this long to get it out, but you didn't tell us anything about it. I didn't learn anything about Divinity, like nothing. All I got was, hey, look, thanks for waiting on this issue," which is cool, but I didn't learn anything about it. So I really can't say anything about that particular book. I didn't hear anything. So then you come over to the Steam Patriots. That's very interesting to me. I love the concept of steampunk. I like the, cyberpunk, all kinds of stuff like that. So that was cool. The idea of it being in America is very interesting. My books are very, patriotic books. So I think that's very interesting that they're going in that route with it. And a lot of it comes back to thanking the fans for making this book series and this stuff work. Please come to us. We appreciate your support and stuff like that. I am not a fan of any video, and I'm not going to, no sugarcoat it. I'm not a fan of anybody that doesn't, thank you for your patronage. You know what I'm saying? If you've backed me, holy cow, man, I would take you to dinner if you were in my state and sign books and BS with you. You know what I mean? Because I appreciate the fact you've done this. You took the time to come out and talk to me, or you took the time to pick up my book, or even watch my video. So these guys going, "Hey, look, thank you. Thank you." Is great. I think the video was a little bit long for what we got. Like I said, we only got a little bit, really. We heard about, Steam Patriots. Other than that, we didn't get a lot. So, I mean,
what's really sad though? I gotta just say, the fact that it's a brag that you did the 10 Kickstarters and fulfilled them. Nothing against Roland, but the fact that there are people out there that's actually a brag. That there are people not delivering on these Kickstarters. Like, that's a real thing. So
how sad is that?
Yeah, right? Like, you would think that every creator would go out there and make sure that they get it done, because every time they screw up, they make it harder for the rest of us. And I can tell you, people like Marcel Dupree are making things horrible for other creators. You get these creators over on Indiegogo who are taking a year because they extend their projects. They're not ready. They take a year to put their book out, and then they're off kickstarting or doing another Indiegogo without fulfilling their books. This is a real thing, man.
It is a real problem. Like, it really is a real problem. It's not a joke, you know, that he's talking about. It's a very serious issue because, like us, all my books, and I'm not saying that everyone has to be this way, but what I'm saying for me is all my books are done ahead of time. Like, they're all done. With the exception of for the last Kickstarter, we added Guy's journal, and I learned something. Mind you, I haven't been doing Kickstarter for but like 8 months, 9 months, you know, so I'm still learning as I go. But I put out this book called Guy's Journal, and it was for the diehard fan at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? It was a $50, 48-page book, and it was full paintings and a full mini story with each painting you got. You know, it took a lot of time. It took a lot longer than a regular comic book would take, and I had no clue it would be like that. You know what I mean? But that being said, the product did still go to the printer. It is still coming back. The other stuff's already, everybody got their stuff already. You know what I mean? We're just waiting on those particular things. If you can't meet something, send everybody the other stuff first. Eat the shipping. Eat it. You know what I mean? Then ship them with the other stuff when it's done. To be fair, I only sold 4 copies of that. And what I did was I went and I took my most expensive books out of my entire series so far, and I hooked those guys up with those expensive books to make up for the fact that I didn't have this as fast as I would want it to be out. You know what I mean? It's not like it was late. It just wasn't as fast as I would like it to get there. You know, we have to police ourselves, man. You know, no one else is gonna do it.
And congratulations to Roland for getting it out. We do have to move on, but there was one comment someone asked. They said you can extend projects only on Indiegogo. Temporarily on Kickstarter, they were giving us an extra week because of the pandemic. I think that's over now, though.
It is.
And Pop said a creator is only as good as his word, man. There's so many creators whose words aren't worth, they're not even worth talking about. Let's put it, that's how bad their word is. Even mentioning their name is a waste of time for me. And I've got a list of people I could tell you who are that way. And I'm not the only one. The bad thing about these indie creators is they're self-centered and they're childish. I just did a video today on TikTok about stop talking down about Marvel and DC. It doesn't make you look good. And I came up with people saying, oh, you know, we're indie creators, we're better. And I suddenly realized, wait, if we're talking down about the people who are working above us, we're just talking down about creators. Scott Snyder's, guys like that. Like, I meet these guys. I talk to these guys. Right. Some of them are on my friends list, and I'm going to talk down about them because I'm worried about my indie comic. No, I'm going to make a goddamn good indie comic that's independently created, and I'm going to put it out there, and it's going to compete with my friends up in Marvel and DC. I don't have to drag them down to my level. I don't have to try to.
I've never understood the concept of belittling people, because these are people that are they're working their asses off just like you are. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a hobby or a side project or your main gig or whatever, they're still going out there and they've still published. I don't give a shit what anybody says. You know, Tom Hutchinson said it once on a show, and I'll never forget it. He was like, and you know, I've been reading BDI since BDI came out. You know, I had my own brick and mortar. I was putting his books in my shop, you know. And the minute the man said, once you've published, no one can take that from you. We have no right to belittle anyone or talk badly about anyone. You know, we haven't earned that. There's no place for it.
And if you buy a book, I'm not talking about your fandom. If you buy a book, you get to do it. But there are people literally bragging, oh, comics are horrible now. I haven't read a comic in 20 years. How the fuck would you know comics are bad?
You haven't read it in 20 years, but it's bad.
I want to talk to the guy who just bought a comic yesterday and ask him how comics are doing, not your stuffy self-centeredness where you haven't picked up a comic in 20 years. And I'll tell you, 20 years ago, I didn't like comics, but I've kept reading them in that 20-year period. And I can tell you, they're really good right now. Some of the stuff they're doing is amazing. I still read. I love the DC app, their universe. I'm looking to get the Marvel app. I hate digital comics, but if I can read, I'm happy.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's cheaper that way.
Absolutely. Yeah, right on, man. It's the way to do it. You know, it's like a lot of people talk bad about PDFs, but at the same time, Like if you went right now and you go to our Kickstarter and you're trying to catch up, like I said, you can read Greed as standalone, but you get more from knowing the listener, So if you go to get the triple play, which is like $12 for all 3 PDFs, that saves you $3 on PDFs first off, instead of $5 a piece. And not only does it save you that, if you were to go back and try to buy the listener, it's like even cover A is $15, right? So then you're going to pay shipping and stuff. I'm putting out a trade paperback later, and we'll talk about all that. But that's the catch-up game. Not everybody can go to a comic shop or wait for a book to get delivered. It's just easier for them to get a PDF. What if you're a trucker, right? You're on the road all the time, and you'd like to be able to, read some comic books. Those guys make the world go around. So I'm PDF all day. You'll never catch us not putting a PDF out.
What if you're a broke creator? I have so many friends. Like, I want to support. You don't like. I know a lot of people, so like I try to throw at least $1 to my friends' campaign. If I'm interested, I try to do it because a lot of you I meet on the road, and I love to support you. I say this all the time: buy a PDF here on Kickstarter, and then go support them at a show.
For sure, right on.
If they've successfully funded. If they're funded already, you're just helping now. You're pushing the car. You get like. I just backed Dustin, and I'm going to remember to hit the share because we had a minute. And I was like, let me take care of it because now I can actually do it without you guys seeing what the new we're using.
Well, one cool thing about that is with us, as soon as the campaign ends, you get your PDF. Like as soon as it ends, the emails are already set up. So come Friday, what I do is I go and I set up my emails with my MailChimp, and you get the PDFs go out to everybody. Anybody that backed a physical copy also gets a PDF. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a no-brainer, right? Like you put it out early. I do that all the time. I love doing that because then the person, when they get that book and I've signed it, they don't ever have to open it.
Absolutely.
Some people will because they want to see the comic. I had people, we put out the Continuum, our book that just successfully funded. We got it out. We've had it out there. We didn't let anything stop us. We got it out there. I'll be honest, man. We can. There'll be a day where you guys will understand how much BS we went through getting the Continuum out. We got it out. We still haven't even gotten the money from Kickstarter because of drama that's going on behind the scenes.
Oh Lord!
We put the books out. We put our own money in. We got the backers their book. We don't have the money for it. We might not ever get the money because of a bad operator. We made sure the backers got what they wanted because
that's awesome.
Money comes and goes.
That's right.
Your reputation, you doing what you got to, like Roland Man said, you got to make it. Like those 108 people had nothing to do. 118 people. Someone decided that they were more important than 118 people. We decided 118 people were more important than us.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's how like I said, all my books are done beforehand because of the simple fact that the story is going to get told. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's one way or another way. You guys are going to get the books. They're already done. So same thing with the next project. I'll have 3 IPs done by the end of the year, and all those books will be finished and going to people without struggle, without nonsense. The only thing I'll say that gives anybody an issue right now that I'm aware of that's a big deal is USPS losing books. And, you can give people, the insurance or you can replace the book, but you can't replace original art, and that's very frustrating.
Yeah,
especially when you're shipping across the world and stuff to people. It's very frustrating when you lose they lose a sketch cover or something from an artist. Then you're like, okay, well, I get the money, that's fine, but now I got to take the time to get the person the book again. Then I have to get the art done, and if they're a very popular artist, they're doing a ton of work, and it's hard to just jump in there,
Yeah, and Aggressively Relaxing says, no doubt, dude. Marvel and DC puts out 15 books a week, but they are all bad, and I know because I don't read them. Right? Like, I mean, that's a lot to put out. They're constantly hustling, putting this stuff. And you have indie creators who are like, well, we take the time to make our books good. You're putting out 2 books a year. You're not taking your time. You're not ready. You're just not ready. And, as a writer, I get frustrated because I have to wait on artists, and it's a financial thing. Absolutely. And of course I want to start the engine. I want to put more books out, more information out. This year, you guys are seeing finally things I've worked on for the past 3 or 4 years where I had to beat up artists in the inboxes being like, where's my work? where's my work? You know, like work I paid for. There are stories you're going to see where I'm not even giving credit to the artist because they just, you know, they disappeared into a bottle, and we'll leave it like that. Because I'm not going to even say their name because it's such a bad story. But as a creator, I'm going to continue to create. Stop talking down about people. Raise everyone up with you. And if you got nothing nice to say about someone publicly, keep it to yourself. I look at it this way. With all the issues I've gone through in the past couple of months, talking about it will do nothing for anyone. Getting those backers their books is all that matters to me. Money is replaceable. You know, reputations, you can't. Let me tell you, there are people that when I get asked about them, I will tell the truth about them, and it'll forever change how people see people. And that's the reality of comics. Like, no one understands that. We all watch, we all see, we're all little you know, coffee chatter over the water cooler. We go to cons are back, man. Like, we're going to be going to cons talking about, you know, like, you just want to be supportive of each other, not kneecap. Like, there's too much bullshit. You got a problem with someone? Find them at a con, offer them to go outside, handle it like gentlemen. Let's bring back Pistols at Dawn. I don't know. There's got to be a better way than all the social media. I'm tired of having to take out I moved to Florida so I didn't have to shovel snow. But instead, every day on Facebook, I got to shovel feelings out of my way to get to all the other threads.
Oh, no.
Stop trying to hate each other. You've been inside too much. Forgive people. You know, like, when something bad happens to you, take it as a learning lesson. Eject the bad people from your life. Move the fuck on. You know, like, no one wants to hear about your exes. No. I'm sorry. It's just true.
The X's and O's song starts playing.
We're going to head over to Seed Seekers. Now, Seed Seekers kind of threw me because her video's in a different place. She said we could play it. So here we go, Martha. Dustin's up with your video.
The war became very hard once our hero Ian was sent to another dimension to save the seed from destruction. People pitted against each other as harsh battles became hard for most, especially for Shauna and Shane. The heirs of the evil wizard Ludicrous, they had to stay hidden as they were considered beacons of destruction in their father's wake. Sure, the kingdom, which was led by the queen and her patrons Solomon and Adrian, did have a strong disconnect due to the destruction that their father had caused. Shauna had to protect her.
So,
audio quality?
It's not just that. I didn't introduce myself in any way, shape, or form. I have not made my presence felt at all in this video yet. We're a minute in, or 40 seconds in, and I don't know who you are. I don't know why. You know, what is drawing me as a person? Because you read a million stories, right? As a writer, you read story after story after story just to make ourselves better. But I'm not judging the story, we're judging a video. I have no idea who you are. You threw me into this cool little, you know, dilapidated castle thing, but then you just start putting art on us with no concept. You know, you just start it's like you basically were reading the back of a book to us in this video. You know, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel the passion in it. It was just there. And that's the big thing for me. I mean, she's a really cool person, you know, and I've backed her projects, but it just has to do with, I don't know, man. I wasn't feeling it.
All right, so I want to talk to you guys about something cool. This is not back or applause related. Two things I want to give shout outs to. First one is announcing Resilience, Creators Against COVID, an original anthology for charity. Either go to Global Comics or go to creatorsofwrittensins.com, which of course is comicbookadvocates.com. That's our legacy URL. And check this out. This is amazing. Creators actually doing things, talking about the living through COVID and all that we went through. This is a great thing. Definitely check it out. They just had their first release this week. Check it out. Again, you can find that at globalcomics.com and of course our site, comicbookadvocates.com, and just look for it. It's an amazing anthology. Great idea. Creator Connections Panel 1 anthology. This is from Comic Book School Presents. This is a great free anthology, 144 pages. I am proud to be part of the first one, and I'm hoping to be part of the second one. I've had some artist issues because of the COVID, pre-mentioned COVID. So if you're looking to get into an anthology and want to do some work, reach out to me. I could use an artist right now. I had 2 back out of me because of different COVID things. I can't wait till COVID's fully in the rear view and we're talking about remember when. But this is something you can get right now by going to comicbookschool.com and getting your copy of Creator Connections Panel 1 from Comic Book School. All right, guys, we're going to move on to the next one. You guys can see there is me backing it. See, I don't just talk about it. I didn't mean to show it, actually, but I'll take the flex. I'll take the moment to flex. We're going to move on quickly to our next project this evening, which is Sam Johnson's Geek Girl. So if you guys don't know what's going on Geek Girl, you haven't been watching this show very long. I'm trying to get him on the show. It's a little harder. We might actually have.
For those that aren't familiar.
Sorry, wrong thing. We'll play that in just 1 second for Sam. Here's the card we want. So this is an amazing book. We might be doing earlier backer pause just to have him on the next coming weeks. So we might go back to maybe we'll do an 8 a.m. because over in England it's like lunchtime.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
No, 2 o'clock. So there'll be an afternoon show for them. You ever notice that when there's something in the England, like even the Olympics, or the ceremony, it's like for them it's late in the day. For us, it's like 4 a.m.
Right.
But here's his video. We're gonna clearly see each other. So when you raise your hand, everyone will see it now. So away we go, Sam.
For those that aren't familiar with Geek Girl is hot, popular college chick Ruby Kay. She owns a pair of super tech glasses. They give her flight super strength powers, but the initial impact is she's not used to these strength powers and they make her super klutzy. When she's trying to demonstrate her powers to her friends, she alienates the meaner girls of her clique, knocking drinks over them. But from there she grows into a heroine, helped and pushed on by her best friend, Summer. Now that's the setup, but what's happening now, we're ongoing with Geek Girl. So I've always wanted to bring some weirder elements to my comics, but it required an ongoing series. So Doom Patrol, I always reference Grant Morrison's run on Doom Patrol is a big influence on me, and I've created various ideas over the years. Ideas like Groovejet, The Living Party, White Tops, Ratfink, Carbracini, Voodoo Junkie, Hit Woman. Now these are all going to be coming to the pages of Geek Girl.
All right.
I mean, I'm intrigued by the artwork. As a writer, I think that's something that draws us. We want to write with particular artwork. Sometimes I think the concept is really cool. He could drown. He could really rip off 10 of his characters in a row real quick. He's like, I got this one, I got this one, I got this one, I got this one, and that to me is interesting because not only not everybody's got a full video set up in their house, right? You know what I mean? So that's something that I really hope backers pay attention to. It's very expensive to make comic books, okay? But a video that can catch people's attention, as soon as you start talking about your product and it sounds original, that's interesting to me. You know what I mean? It's interesting. You're like, okay, well, I got a superhero chick that's got all kinds of problems. Cool. I'm a huge fan of Supergirl, but at the same time, I don't want to read about a superhero girl, like a Supergirl clone. So you start talking about how interesting it is that the girl's knocking drinks over on chicks. And then you've got this really catchy little tune that I feel like I could beatbox to in my car, that it's like, okay, well, you caught my attention. He was losing me for a minute there in the beginning, but then the other video started playing. I was like, I was drowning here for a second. But then it brings you back with this cool little video. He's talking about his characters. you know, and that's interesting to me. And like I said, you could feel the passion. The guy knows what he's talking about. He's talking about his product. He's very happy about it. So yeah, I'm down for that. I'll talk about some Geek Girl. That's pretty interesting.
Right? I'm a big fan of that franchise. I'm also a big fan of Specs Thomas. Presents The Legacy of the View 1 through 3. This is the 3rd issue of The Legacy of the View. And we're going to check out that video right now. And you guys, I know you're going to be upset. You're not going to see us anymore. We're going off screen for the first time in a while. We'll be back, though, I promise. Here we go. Take it away, Specs.
What's up, y'all? This is Specs Thompson, the creator of Legacy of the View, and this is my Kickstarter for issue 3 of my comic book series. I hope that by the end of this video, I can get y'all as a backer to help me out, boost my dream up, to get these books, these characters, and these stories that I fell in love with in y'all hands, so y'all can fall in love with them the same way I have. So let's go. The Legacy of the View stars a high school sophomore named Chaz Johnson, who's an intern at his uncle's recording studio as a musical engineer. I chose to make him a musical engineer because I'm in the music industry as a DJ, and I want to incorporate aspects of my life inside my comic book series. So I chose to make him a musical engineer so that he can meet the different artists that I place inside my comic book world, as well so that I can use different lingo that's used inside the studio, as well as different terms and techniques that's used as well, so the readers who's not familiar with the studio life or the aspects of the studio or the recording process can learn about it inside the Legacy of the View. So enough about that. So basically, Chaz became the View by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. He got stuck between the crossfire between the Howl and the Silent, which are the 2 villain groups in the story. And he got his powers by unknown circumstances from that crossfire that will explain his origin story later on. But right there in the picture, you can see how he uses his mask. He takes his shirt that he's wearing, he put it around his head, tied it up, and he got a mask right there, ready to go at any time. Anyway. So yeah, y'all seen some panels, y'all seen some pages, y'all seen how Chaz transforms into the View, just right there. But I forgot something. I forgot to tell you about his powers. That main thing about him. So, with the powers of the View, he has the powers of creation. With the powers of creation, he's able to spawn items out of thin air that typically last 1 minute. But first, he has to know about them items. He can't just make items out of nothing that he don't know about. So, if you try to make a car, he gotta know how that motor works. Without that motor, the car won't work. But you know he does make? He makes a baseball bat. Because he's a baseball player. He knows the ins and outs of that baseball bat. So he used that baseball bat to whoop people's butts. And you can see that in pretty much all my issues, he used that baseball bat and he goes to town. And that's one thing about him. He knows his items, he used them beforehand. Because if he didn't, it won't work. They'd be too flimsy, too soft, and just be terrible. But you know, Chad's a smart guy, and he knows better. Alright, this Kickstarter right here is $1,300 to help my project, my dream, come true. But it's $1,300 I'm going to use to pay my staff, everybody who helped me create this book, the money they need to better their lives. Because you know, it's all about coming together, we all eat. And as well, my printer, so I get these books in y'all hands so y'all can enjoy and fall in love with characters, like I said, the same way I do. And then, you know, the View is not my only character. I got plenty more characters ready to go. I need this Kickstarter right here for this $1,300 to work. So I can have my other characters come alive too and make this whole world I'm created come together. So y'all fall in love and just be the next Marvel, DC, or Image, or the Dark Horse, anything like that come true. You know, this is my world, my Georgia universe, and I'm trying to get y'all to know about the View and my comic books. So it's $1,300 I need it from y'all to help me out, get my dream to come true. So right now, if y'all don't mind, y'all go to the bottom of this page, you know, this is back this project, a little tab right there. You know, you click that and pick one of the rewards over here in this corner right here, right there. And you know, help me out so I get this book in y'all hands. And you know, y'all enjoy, y'all fall in love. Like, man, that dude who did this one take shot camera thing, he knew his name. Yeah, I knew what I was talking about, man. I knew I really did. So y'all go over there real quick, pick a reward, pick a good one now. One y'all gonna really like, pick a good one. You see that? Boom, do that for me? Cool, appreciate it. And, you know, thanks for backing my project. Specs Thompson, the creator of Legacy of the View, and this is for the Kickstarter for issue 3 of my project. Thanks again.
What do you think?
I mean, I'm in. You know what I mean? Just because he starts off with the fact he tells you up front who he is. Okay, as a writer, I think that we fall to the wayside to our artists, and that's something that is Yeah, it gives people like a syndrome almost. Like you'll go chase artists, right? Very few writers nowadays do you hear their names unless they're popping off serious stuff. So it's very important that you let people know who you are. You know, this is me, this is my product. And I love that. I also love the fact he mentioned dream twice. He mentioned it twice. This is my dream. Look, man, I've got 2 kids, and there's nothing in this world that I wouldn't do to help them achieve their dreams. You know, so when somebody starts talking about that, it was very interesting to me, and it becomes a much deeper experience. You know, like I said, it's passion, man. For me, it's passion in the videos. If I don't care if you're filming it with your phone or you're, you know, have no effects to it, it really doesn't matter to me as long as you're catching my attention with what you have to say. You know, and I think he did that very well, you know, and he, like I said, he thanked people for their time. And I think it's important.
We are running out of, speaking of time, we're running out of time. We're only going to have a chance for one more video. So we're going to quickly run through what you guys can see in the coming weeks on this show. These are, because we have a few things ending this week, so it'll make room for us to watch. We, like I said, we had a lot of new campaigns starting this week, so we weren't going to get to them all. Coming soon will be Teklum Chapter 1, that's coming soon, as well as coming soon Korra, Life on Korra. Both of those will be on the program very soon, so stay tuned for that. These are live campaigns right now that we just didn't have time to get to today. Staunch Ambition looks amazing. This project is great. I can't wait to show it on the show. We will have that in the coming weeks. I promise you that. We're going to have Remora. I don't know how to say that one. Dustin, best guess?
I don't know, man.
Okay. We'll call him Ram. Ram's going to be back with us very soon. The 13th, this is our good friend Sean Keenan, who got a standing ovation from me last week. So many new campaigns filled in the center. We didn't get to a great video, though, Sean. Still loving it. This will be on the show very soon. We will also have Cindy Kep back on for her just fantastic idea of seeing the world through animals' eyes.
That's beautiful.
Right? That's going to be on our show. And we're gonna have back on the show. We just missed it because we only have a chance for one more. We are gonna see, where is it? We saw Catch. Hold on. It's not. There we go. Steve Tanner presents Harker, the Book of Solomon, Part 2. We're gonna see that probably next week because it's actually ending June 1st. So that will be in the rotation just there. We did want to take the time to introduce you guys to a brand new rookie creator, his first release. He's only done a webcomic. This is brand new. This is big stuff. I've known this guy, watched his journey. I wanted to show this on the program because this is his first week. Let's really show some support to this creator. Check out his video. First time ever, I introduce you to my good friend, Mr. Velas.
Hello, my name is Laurent. I'm excited to be on Kickstarter for the first time, showing off my original comic, Sacrifice. Set in the modern age, Sacrifice follows a man named Damien Blackwell. When he was an infant, the satanic cult performed a ritual to tie his soul to Lucifer. Their goal was to sacrifice him and summon Lucifer, which would bring about an age of demons. As you saw in the intro, this ritual was interrupted by angels, but not before the soul bonding could be completed. Now, whenever Damien dies, Lucifer will be summoned, and the world as we know it will come to an end. The actual story of Sacrifice takes place 24 years after this ritual, and the common man has no idea that angels and demons are living among him. During this time frame, the demons and other dark forces have been working towards killing Damien. The angels, on the other hand, have been watching over Damien from a distance, but their primary goal has been finding a weapon strong enough to kill Lucifer. This leaves Damien in the middle, who, at this point in the story, is a 24-year-old man and has awakened to unbelievable amounts of demonic power. What type of person does he grow to become? I won't spoil that for you, but I can promise you it's not what you'd expect. This 32-page first issue will be the first in an action-packed series featuring plenty of horror, comedy, fantasy, and pop culture elements. If you like stories like Shaun of the Dead, Army of Darkness, or Ghostbusters, which are filled with various types of demons, monsters, ghosts, and horrific creatures, but still have plenty of room for comedy in between, then you'll love Sacrifice. If Sacrifice sounds like something that would be interesting to you, I ask that you share with the people around you who think who might also be interested. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope I have your support.
That was a fantastic video. I can't wait to play it more. Dustin, tell them where they can get Greed and tell them where you're going to be for those joining us late, and tell them how to follow you on social media. Thank you for being our judge tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was a great time. And that book looks fantastic. It absolutely looks fantastic. I am in the process of backing Tales of the Seed Seekers right now. So I'm really excited about that because Martha's a great person. So you can find me anywhere on social media, basically. I mean, Facebook's the best because I'm on it religiously. I have three full teams right now, comic book teams. So I'm constantly on Messenger. If you guys need to find me at all, it is Dustin Burnell. I only write under my own name, so you can find me anywhere. You know, it's real easy. There's a listener group on Facebook as well. All you have to do is look up the listener comics on Facebook, and you can find the group. We're open to adding anybody to that, and you can see all the new intel that we've added, pictures and whatever and what have you from all of our books. I'm really into sharing stuff like covers and stuff because it excites me. I think it's really cool, right? And I like to share that with people. We're on Kickstarter right now. You guys can go swing over there and check that out. There's all kinds of new stuff added recently, including the Mortal Kombat cover and the Totally Rad cover were just added recently. We are backed. So, we are funded. So back with confidence, if you want to check that out, we really appreciate any help getting the book out to people. Man, and I put out a book every month. So I'm real easy to find. I talk to a lot of people. I deal with a lot of different groups of people. So if you need me, you have questions, you're curious, you want to pick up issues of the listener, you can always go to thelistener.xyz to pick up the listener. All our issues are on there with the exception of one that's we're not printing anymore. But yeah, I appreciate you having me on, Rob. It was a blast. The videos were super, super cool. Now, to be fair, because I am super nice, and Rob said it in the beginning, I was judging your videos. I wasn't judging your books or your talent. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm, disrespecting their book or anything. I promise you I'm not. We are on Backer Paws, and I was just talking about your videos. So
yeah, too nice, man. But you did great. Yeah, it was a good show. We got to have a great conversation. I thank you for it. Absolutely. Real quick, everyone, and don't go anywhere. I want to say goodbye to you behind the scenes. But for now, understand, for everyone watching, the power of a single dollar. The power of a single dollar. One single dollar can help make dreams come true. Every dollar is a declaration of support and belief. It helps the creators and the teams behind the book. Just $1 helps create new worlds and keeps creators